Good morning, peace and blessings. Happy Sunday. I'm the Moon Mama. Happy Mother's Day as well. Today is the day that governs the sun, and the sun is currently at the 19th degree of Taurus. And Taurus is a really interesting energy to me because it's like a really solid, sound, earthy, silent energy. It's the energy of our sensations. It's such a necessary energetic. It's the like being in the body and being able to feel. And one of the things that I have discovered in doing this work is how much I have lived in my head, how much I have lived in just sort of my thoughts and this fantasy thinking world that excludes my body. And I have been spending time in the last, 6 or so months really working to get myself into my body with dance and playing tennis and sex and just getting into the body to actually be able to magnetize the level of energy that's needed to create the life that I desire. It's important that our chakra systems are working, right? We don't and it's I remember when I first started learning about the chakra systems and what they were in energy centers, it all sounded like fantasy stuff to me. It all sounded like made up stuff that didn't make any sense to me. But all of that is Taurus, like how our energy runs through our bodies and how we are, how we breathe, how we eat, how we move, how we relate to our material world, our senses, how we feel. All of that is Taurian in nature. And it's really significant to creating the reality that we desire. It's taken me a lot of, spending time. I have a doctor, a homeopathic, who really gets this stuff in a way that most people don't. And because we live in America in the West, where we're just taught a fraction of who we are and what we are, most of us don't even have access to the real power that is within us, or don't even know how to access it, right? Don't know what foods to eat, what what exercises, breathing patterns, all that sort of stuff. And there is really there's a science to this stuff. There's a science to creation. It's much more than it's what you think is primary and key, but what you feel and how you live in your body is just absolutely as necessary as what you think, because they feed one another. And the sun in Taurus at the 19th degree is service. And so Taurus is the energy of the earth, right? It's today's Mother's Day. And so it really is, because Taurus is also this silent internal thing. It really is about doing things today that feel good to you, right? That feel good to you, right? And so, or for you. And the moon is at the 25th degree of Aries when I checked, or the 24th degree of Aries, which is humility. And so humility is understanding that you are connected to a whole, that, like I was saying the other day, it's like your thumb knowing that, your thumb is impacting your whole entire hand, your whole entire body. And so how this thumb performs matters, right? It matters to each and every aspect of your body. So that's what humility is. It's not the act of making yourself small. It's the act of recognizing your value. That's what humility is. And Taurus ultimately is about value, and so it's today you want to really focus on your own value. Do things that heighten your sense of value, your connection to your value, your sense of self and sense of source. All of that is about you. And It's an interesting thing because it's Mother's Day, right? And Mother's Day has always been it's a day that I've never really had a great time with it. Um, and the reason I didn't have a great time with it is because when I was young, my mother wasn't around, and Mother's Day was just weird. Like, oh, I'm celebrating my mother. I have all this stuff around, and I don't know if you guys I grew up in a family where we didn't talk about stuff, so I had feelings about things that didn't get discussed, right? And it wasn't addressed. It was almost as if nobody was thinking about it. Um, so today I'm going to spend the day really just honoring my feelings in a way that they weren't honored when I was young, because we're in the Taurus. It's important for us to recognize that we are creating our reality. That's what I want to say. And your feelings, your thoughts create your reality. You are completely responsible for everything in your reality. And so when I because I my work is about healing and understanding that everything is all here. This system that we are, this body, we don't get over stuff. We might think we do. We don't get over stuff unless we intentionally reintegrate it, is what I'll say. Especially things from our childhood, right? So when you hear me go back to like, oh, my childhood thing, I'm not trying to drag it up. I'm trying to reintegrate it into a new frequency. I'm alchemizing it because everything serves everything. So the feelings that I had as a child around my value and, not having a mother and what that made me think about myself is something that I'm doing the work to reintegrate now, because that is what healing is. Healing is changing your mind and your perception about something. So I'll look at these energies and how I feel. Taurus is an infantile energy. Our feelings, our senses develop when we're children, right? And so, if you can just remember being a child and maybe something happened and nobody addressed it and you created a story about it. So at this age, I am recreating those stories to favor me, to understand that, all is well, that I don't have to continue to tell myself stories that I don't belong, or that my needs are not met, or that I don't have everything that I need, or that I'm not valuable or worthy of, all those kind of things, because that's Taurus, right? So during this day, I will look at, where is my value? How am I sourcing my value? How did I source it when I was a child? I know when I was a child, I really was waiting on somebody to come and save me. That was a real thing for me, that I felt helpless. I felt really helpless as a child. I felt like I wouldn't be able to live the life that I desired or have the life that I really wanted because of the environment that I was in. I felt like I was at the effect of all of that. And so now, as an adult, I get to really claim that and see that the truth of the matter is that I'm the creator of my reality. I'm not helpless at all. I'm all powerful in my reality, in my mind, in my body, in my reality. I am all powerful because what I think about something is the real power about it. So what I think about myself is the power. And this is true for all of us. I'm just sharing with you my process with the sun in Taurus and the moon in Aries, because the moon in Aries is this infantile energy. Taurus is also, Aries is what we think about ourselves. Taurus is what we feel about ourselves. And so today is a day that we really want to just be looking at what we thought about ourselves as a child, how that stuff is, how we can alchemize that, how we can up-level that, how we can change those perceptions and come into another understanding. I know when I was a child, I used to have this really interesting experience of feeling like I was really, really rich. Like it was really weird to me that we had so many restrictions around money, because I felt really rich. And that was something that I had bought in from a past life. And so I have had a lot of conflict through that as an adult, as a child growing up and not actually having the physical experience of being really rich, but having the internal experience of being rich. And that's Taurus, right? Taurus is value, it's wealth. So in this time, I get to now come back to myself, like from my childhood, and really claim back that power of what it meant to feel rich, to feel wealthy, to feel abundant, to feel really valuable, to feel completely necessary, to feel like I absolutely mattered. And how I've been working with that energy is through the work that Jerome Braggs came and did, and the rebirthing class this week this past Thursday, and really remembering that I am deeply loved, that the universe deeply loves me, and that nothing is being withheld. So I encourage you all today to just do your own work with your own energy, your feelings, what's up for you, and allow yourself to center into the truth of your value, of your worth. And remember, just remember that you are worthy, you are valuable, you matter. And what you're going through, just see if you can get clear about, if you can ask yourself, whatever situation you have going on, what's the lesson in this for me? What's the lesson? And when you ask the lesson, then you activate the creative powers within you, because when you say, what's the lesson, it's almost like you asking your higher self to help you learn from every experience in your life. Okay, peace and blessings. I'm the Moon Mama. Happy Mother's Day to you all. Whoever is a mother, who cares for people or whatever it is. And happy Mother's Day to my mother and all the women in my lineage who had to live in order for me to be. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.